Okay guys, welcome back to the minigame coaster. Next we're going to be doing World 5. Perhaps, in my opinion, the easiest world because, well no, I guess World 2 is pretty damn easy too. It's either World 2 or World 5. They're both pretty easy. Another 2 versus 2 world. The first game is Magnet Carta. Since this is a coin collectathon minigame, you have to get a certain amount of coins to actually win. For this game, you need to get a total of 15. So as long as you get one coin bag and one treasure chest, you should be okay. So yeah, I was able to get the treasure chest with a little bit of difficulty right here, though. I don't know, they kind of just like wouldn't leave me alone. But yeah, pretty easy minigame. The majority of the minigames in this world are games where you're in some kind of vehicle, or some kind of automobile, or some kind of trolley car, if you catch my drift. There's a lot of minigames like that in this world. So you got Magnet Carta, Bobsled Run, Handcar Havoc, Sky Pilots, those kind of minigames. Next we have Bobsled Run, which I actually managed to get a new record on. Not by much though, not by much. But still, it was a new record. As for tips for this game, I really don't have any. I was actually able to win this without getting very many boost pads. So, I guess you could just go for the boost pads for more assurance that you'll win, but you really don't even need them to win. Also, be careful when you're making those jumps, because as you've probably seen through this project, a lot of the failure attempts come from one of the players knocking the other player off at those jumps, because I did that to the computer players during Bowser Land, and then they did it to me in Minigame Stadium, so yeah, just be very careful when you're going off those little jumps right there. So at this point, I had a pretty good lead against them, and I was kind of pretty sure that I was going to win no matter what. Also be careful at that part right there. Very narrow path with no walls is always a danger zone. And then I managed to win with only like, I don't know, 30 milliseconds under the record, so I got pretty lucky to get a new record there. And come to think of it, that's been a record that I've had for like 9 years now, so the fact that I'm improving on it now just means like it's a very good record, I guess. Although I'm pretty sure there's people out there who have really awesome records. 5-3 is Handcar Havoc. Through this minigame, I kind of started getting the, what's the word I'm looking for? Getting the belief that the computer players are actually a little easier than they are on actual hard mode. Through this game and through Mecha Marathon. Because I never was able to get this far ahead of the computer players when I did this game normally. Even when I pressed the A button as hard as I could. So, I think for Minigame Coaster, the difficulty is like right in between normal and hard mode, but more towards hard mode because there are some minigames that get ridiculously hard later on. But yeah, I'd say it's somewhere around there. So, if you have a hard time facing hard computer players and normal game maps, don't let it worry you so much, because there's a chance that you probably could beat them in a Minigame Coaster. Next we have Sky Pilots. For this game, on hard mode, you always control the person driving the machine. So you don't ever have to flap the wings when you're doing this minigame. Yeah, right here they got ahead a little bit, but in a second you'll see that their short time ahead won't matter much because they got blasted away. I'm actually kind of surprised that cannon fired at me right there. Usually you don't see him fire at that kind of angle. Make sure you avoid that tower, unlike what Peach and DK did. They kind of just went right at it, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I didn't get a new record though because I missed quite a few rainbow rings. But again, I think it's a pretty good record as it is, so probably can't even improve on it. So how many minigames in a row does that make? Ooh, 5. Not bad. Not bad at all. Well, next minigame I believe is Torpedo Targets. In Torpedo Targets, for minigame Coaster, you actually control the torpedoes, not the actual driving. So good luck if you're not very good at firing the torpedoes, because that is something you have to do here. And as you can see, I actually managed to do this minigame twice. The first time I did this minigame, I got so close to winning, but like at the very end they shot me with a torpedo, so I was stuck into a draw with them. So there was basically no way I could win after that, so they kind of stole that victory from me. But no big deal. A draw is always better than a loss, but in minigame Coaster, a win is everything. In this Torpedo Targets, I got a lot more lucky with my shots, and the computer players got a lot less lucky, so I was able to get a lot of targets without them interfering so much. I was actually kind of surprised I got that one. And then I think I also got the first one with an amazing shot too, so I was actually doing pretty good for this minigame. And I think I'm also going to get this last target too, I don't remember. Yep, last second target get. So yeah, I'm actually kind of impressed with how I performed in that minigame. Also, I guess I should mention, since I haven't really mentioned it yet, at the very end of this playthrough, I am going to show a small failure reel of some of the failures I had during the recording of this board, so don't worry, I do plan to show some failures for those of you who wanted to see me fail, so don't worry about that. This is probably the most out-of-place game in the minigame Coaster, because if you looked at all the other minigames in this world, they're all, they're all kart minigames, or handcar minigames, or sky pilots. You control a vehicle in every one of the minigames in this world so far. Then you have Toad Bandstand, which just randomly appears out of nowhere. And it's also the last 2 versus 2 game. You don't have to worry about doing Dungeon Dash or Rainbow Run, since they're not part of the original list of like 50 minigames or something. I don't remember the exact number. But yeah, that wasn't really hard at all. And it's just kind of out of place. It doesn't really belong there. Also, I guess I should mention, although it's kind of obvious by now, that the battle games, duel games, and item games will not appear in the minigame Coaster. When I was younger, I thought they would, but I was a stupid kid back then. It's because I was under the impression that World 9 was actually a whole nother world with a bunch of minigames, when in actuality it was just one minigame, and you guys will see that later on. The first 1 versus 3 minigame of this world is Quicksand Cage. Like the other coin collectathon minigames, you have to get a total of 15 coins, at least. And I think I managed to sweep up like so many coins in this game. Just keep watching and you'll see how many coins I'm getting. Look, it's only been 10 seconds and I already beat the minigame already. And now I'm up to like 27. And like, wherever I am, I just managed to get a coin bag somehow. And I'm still getting just normal coins out the wazoo, so I'm getting so many coins here. Yeah, 34. That is a lot of coins. And if you go into that game with a very high multiplier, that could easily get you like 200 coins almost. Since I had a 3 multiplier, I only got 102. But think if I didn't fail Torpedo Targets. I would easily have like an 11 multiplier, maybe. And then like 11 times 3 is like 330, so You can get a lot of coins that way. Okay, 6-2 is lights out. Unlike normal mode, and I think that's actually true for a lot of situations in this coaster, but from normal mode and hard mode, I think you actually change positions, because I think in normal mode, you do actually have the hammer, but in hard mode, they give you the light bulb instead. And I think they do the same thing in Torpedo, no, I mean not Torpedo Targets, but maybe, I don't know for sure, but in Sky Pilots, on normal mode you control the wings and not the actual flying. And then I'm pretty sure there's other examples as well. But yeah, that's pretty easy. Lights out, you really don't have to worry about that game at all. It's an easy minigame no matter what side you're on. Just be careful of the computer players because they can actually kind of screw you up.